Alrighty, let's talk. I am in San Diego. I'm not gonna tell you exactly where I am, but I'm at a hotel in San Diego. One of my great friends and I evacuated from LA. So basically, what happened? Probably about 4 something yesterday afternoon, we received a notification and alert on our phone as we received an evacuation warning, and so then jumped into action. I had already packed a go suitcase. I packed one for like maybe 2 days worth of clothes, and then I saw a press. So that was Tuesday, and then I saw a press conference on Wednesday, and one of the city officials was saying you should pack clothes for about a week. So I packed another larger suit. Well, I washed clothes, and then I packed another larger suitcase. And Tuesday was really rough. Never experienced anything like this with fires at all in this way. And so Tuesday, when the fire broke out, the first one, it was like, oh, it's kind of far away. It was a little smoky, but it wasn't that big of a deal. And then, well, it was a big deal, but I didn't know how big of a deal it was, honestly. So then I'm on my neighborhood app, and they're telling me about this app called Watch Duty. And so that kind of gives you a map of the fires, but also gives you updates on what's going on with the fires. And so Tuesday, Palisades fire was 0% contained. And I'm sure that y'all heard, like, they ran out of water, all this stuff. So it was scary, but, like, not, that scary earlier in the day. And then by the time we hit the evening, I'm getting messages from my people saying, like, hey, if you need somewhere to go, you can come here. And so when I realized people were saying, hey, if you need somewhere to go, who are pretty much from California, from California, it was like, oh, this is real. So then all of Tuesday night, I'm going between the Ring app and the news. So I've not really slept well since Tuesday. It was just so overwhelming. I was like crying. I started like hyperventilating. And then I just full on panic attack just because I'd never experienced anything like this. I didn't know how far the fires were. I didn't know how quickly they would come my way, especially when we had like Hurricane 1 level winds because of the Santa Ana winds. And so, y'all, it just was a lot. It's still a lot. That's why I'm subdued. It's a lot, but I am safe. I am in San Diego. I think I told y'all that. So I'm safe. I'm here for a little bit. When we leave, I'll share where I'm at. It's a nice hotel. It's nice. So that happened Tuesday. So Wednesday comes, and it's like there's a fire in Studio City, which North Hollywood is like one city over from Studio City. So this is much closer. They were able to contain it. And then it was like, ooh. Then I might be mixing up the order. Then there was another one in the hills, and I just found out that I'm much closer to the hills than I thought I was. And so Wednesday, so packed a small bag Tuesday, put that in my car. And then I had half a tank. And then Wednesday, I washed and packed the other bag. And then when there was a fire in Studio City, that's when I put the other bag in the car. So at this point, Wednesday night, I have both major bags in my car. I still have a to-go book bag with like all my electronics and everything. Okay, then one of my friends tells me to have an air filter. So I have the air filter on, but it's still so smoky. So that was Wednesday. So scared Wednesday, so not really sleeping. I slept a little bit, not really sleeping. Tuesday I got texts. Wednesday, that's when the texts and calls started coming. Then Thursday, which is yesterday because today's Friday. Thursday, there's something in my spirit just was like, go get some gas at half a tank. Because I'm thinking I'm just going to Inglewood or Long Beach, where my people are. So then what happens? So Thursday morning, I go get gas, and it is just so smoky. I did film some footage, but I'm going to see if I can crop it so you can't quite see the streets and all that. So, I'm not trying to have where I live on the internet. But Anyway, it's like so smoky. It looks like fog, but it's smoke. And then I'm seeing these things are falling from the sky, and I'm thinking, are these feathers? But I think it was like ash. So go to the gas station. I'm double masked up. The air quality is so terrible that it's making my eyes water. So I was like, oh, this is about to be a long day. So anyway, so I do some work and I'm feeling good. I see these press conferences where they're like, bringing people in from all over to man the fires. So feeling really good. So I talked to my sister earlier, and I probably talked to her like 3 something. Yeah, it was 3 something. And so then I get off the phone with her and I go tell myself, okay, I'm going to take like a little nap and then finish working. And then I get the alert on my phone. That was an emergency alert. So then I call my friend and she's out. And so it's like, girl, we got to go. So call her. Then I call the first house of refuge and I'm told they have an alert too. This is before I knew that they had rescinded the alert. So they have an alert too. They're like, oh, we don't know where to go. And so then I'm thinking, okay, well then call my second refuge in Long Beach and they have an alert. So then it's like, oh, so going back and forth. So then I'm like, all right, boom, let's just go to San Diego. So, y'all know I'm spoiled. And unapologetically so. And so I called my parents and I was like, hey, can y'all get us, me and my friend, who they've known forever, because she's my friend. She's been my friend for like over 20 years. Like, that's my girl. That's like my sister. That's really my sister for real, like from another mister. But so my parents, when I get the alert, I tell my sister, call mom and dad. Because at that point, I didn't have the wherewithal to like 3-way and all that. So then I call my sister again and I ask her to 3-way them. And I'm like, hey, I'm going down to my friend's house so that we can like figure out how we're going to get out of here. And at this point, I'm calm. Because my job Tuesday, I'd already cried, was stressed, right? I'm still stressed because I'd never experienced this. And all I kept thinking on Tuesday was, I don't want to DIE. I don't know what you can say on YouTube, but I didn't want that to happen, right? I want to have lots of dreams, lots of goals, all these things, as, most people do, right? So Thursday I call my parents and I'm like, hey, can y'all get us a room in San Diego? And so, because they have points with different hotels and all of this, and they have membership and, parents are well established, so they're good with this kind of stuff. And so my parents were like, well, where do you want to stay? And I was like, it doesn't matter, like just pick somewhere for us. So while they're getting the room together, my friend's packing up some stuff, because now we're realizing, hey, we're probably going to be gone more than one day, so making sure she's straight. And then I'm calling and texting people trying to figure out what's going on. Thankfully I'd gotten a new tire last week because I had a slow leak in one of my tires. So car was good, full tank. All right, then, okay, so we're good. So then I get on the road to come to San Diego, and y'all have new glasses. Y'all don't have a bunch of new glasses. Because my old glasses, they mess with my astigmatism, and I told y'all I don't drive at night. So this was already like I'm going to have to drive at night. But with these new glasses, I have this like night driving filter on it or something like that. So actually the driving wasn't that bad. So I'm like calling different people on the way. I talked to different people like the whole 3 hours, probably like 4 or 5 different people checking in on me. Some people text, but I couldn't respond, so I called them. And then I get to about 77 miles to San Diego, and my low pressure tire light comes on. And of course this is shocking because I just went to the dealership. All my tires have air. I don't know what's going on. I'm just keep driving because my car doesn't feel weird, and it's dark and I don't know where to stop. So then I'm on the phone with someone, and then I kind of tune out because I'm like trying to figure out some things. So then I keep driving a little bit, and then another indicator comes on that I need an oil change. Now, to give you context, I only drive on the weekends, and from where I live in North Hollywood to San Diego is over 100 miles. And so generally, I don't drive more than maybe, if I'm going to yoga, it takes me about 2 weeks between yoga and church. It takes me about 2 weeks to get to 100 miles. And I had already planned to get an oil change because I knew I was at 20%. And I also needed to get like a part recalled, but I had to wait until, like a fuel injector or something like that. But I had to wait until I was less than a quarter tank. So that's why I didn't put any more gas, because I didn't plan for the fires. And so I was like trying to run my gas down, and I had figured that if I went to yoga I figured in about 2 weeks I would have used enough gas to then be able to get my fuel injector, and then I would have gotten the oil change in about 2 weeks. So then what happened? Okay, so then that happens, and then basically I'm driving, and then I see that there's like a Target, there is a shopping center. So I said, let me go ahead and just pull off. So the person I'm talking to, I'm like, hey, I gotta go, I need to check my tires. So then I call my sister, give her my location, because mind you, I don't even know where I am at this point. I'm in like, I don't even know where I'm at. So anyway, so I pull by a bank because it's well lit and it's a shopping center, but the shopping center is kind of deserted. So as I'm checking my tires, and I have an electric tire pump that one of my bosses told me about, and so I'd gotten one when I came out here to California. So I'm checking my tires, and all the air, they all have air, so I'm checking it like 4 times. And as I'm checking my tires, a car pulls into the parking lot, but not by the ATM at the bank, and they're like cat a corner for me, right? And so I'm telling my sister, yeah, a car pulled in, and she's like, are they getting out to go to the ATM? And they're not, they're just sitting there. And so she's like, you need to kind of hurry it up now. So after I check the tire the 4th time, it's like, okay, Tanya, you're good. I reset my tire calibration because I have a Honda, and then the tire light doesn't come back on. And so then I just get back on the interstate because that car doesn't leave that whole time. And mind you, I'm probably stopped for like max 10 minutes, maybe like 5 to 10, max 10 minutes, and they do not get out of their car. Mind you, the bank is closed, and you can see that I'm checking my tire. I'm not by the ATM at all. So didn't like that. Y'all know I'm scary. So I was like, I don't have time for this. And then my sister has my location, but like I'm far away from people, right? So anyway, so I'm good. And then I call someone else, and then I talk to them when I almost get down here. And then my friend, she had already, because she didn't have to stop, so she was already here. And then we were checking in, and the hotel was in my parents' name because my dad got the hotel. Well, it turns out with some hotels, you can't. So I used to work at a Marriott, and so back in the day, you could put hotel rooms in someone else's name, and they can call and verify, and you can charge their card over the phone. They will verify, they will give, the card number, whatever identifying information. So my dad had already had a card on file, but they're like, oh, we need a physical card. The person for whom the room's name is in, the person whose name is on the room needs to be here. And it's like, of course this is impossible. So I'm calling my parents. Mind you, it is like at this point after 11 o'clock their time, 12 o'clock. My parents are seniors. So then my mom was like, just switch the name. I said, Mom, I can't do that. So then the front desk person is like, we can they'll have to cancel the reservation, and they can do a new one prepay, because originally the reservation was 5 nights. We don't need to be there 5 nights. So then my dad calls the membership people, and they're like, they have a lot of points where we are. So then membership people like, no, it's fine. So go back to the front desk person's like, no, it's not fine, you can't. So my dad added my name, but it was like, no, like you can't use their card on file. So then the other thing was, so I said, if they prepay, can I still put incidentals on their card? No. And I understand that this is, and I just want to also be clear, I'm very conscious that this is a first world problem, but this is the life that I live, right? I just want to say that. But I'm very aware that I'm very fortunate and very blessed to be able to have the support and care that I have. Totally. want to acknowledge that. So that whole fiasco takes all this time, and then basically my parents have to just transfer funds to me, and then I put it on my card. Yesterday just was a lot. It is a lot. I've never experienced so much just fear and sheer panic of like an ember could just fly in your building. And then on top of all of this, there are people who are just starting fires on top of all this going on. The air quality is poor. I meant to say this. So on the way leaving North Hollywood, when I look behind me in my rearview mirror, the sky was orange. Now, people have been calling this apocalyptic and Armageddon. And while it seems like it's exaggerated, it really feels like I was living in a post-apocalyptic film. Even to go to the store, it just was so overwhelming, to say the least. When you have a bag and they're like, oh, maybe you should go, maybe you should not go, maybe you should go, maybe you should not go. And then finally, even though they rescinded the warning, the air quality is so poor. Like on a map, when you see like the various degrees of terrible air quality, where I am in North Hollywood is like red, if you will. So it's like if a map has yellow, orange, and red is the worst. The air quality is so terrible. I told my sister, I was like, man, I'm gonna have to go to the doctor and get a nebulizer or something, because like I have an inhaler. It was like that inhaler was doing nothing. My eyes were burning. And then on the news, they were like, oh, well, you can tape up your windows and your doors, so that the smoke can't get in. And I'm thinking, if I got to hurry up and get out, I know me, I'm going to be stumbling over trying to get the tape out and panic. So, when we were leaving and it was orange, I said, yeah, I made the right decision. And so finally able to get a good night's rest. But still stressed. I have a headache. I don't really have an appetite. Who would have thought that what's today, y'all? The 10th day of January would be like this. But I am safe. I just want to say that I am safe. I don't know how much content I'll be able to film while I'm here. I know that I'm doing the arts and crafts. I will have to put that on hold until I get it, till I can. I'm just glad that I'm safe. And I'm so grateful for community and people that care. One thing that I'm so grateful for is, when we think about times of crisis, I'm so grateful that I built enough community here where there were places of refuge and people in California. And then let me also give a shout out to my job. Say whatever you want. My coworkers have offered assistance, a place to stay, just whatever I have needed. They have shown up and showed out for me, and I'm just so grateful. But I'm going to stop talking because I have to call so many people, because of course everybody is nervous, right? And I just want to let everyone know that I'm safe. But I also want to say that, my prayers are really with folks who have lost everything. The thing that's scary about this was when you have to pack a go bag, you have to assess what are the things that you need to take that you may never get back. So the things that I brought with me, my grandmother's bracelet, one of my very close friends made me a quilt. My sister had this, what they call a pillow buddy, that's like a lamb. I brought that. I brought clothes, of course. Just things that I would, and of course my important papers, right? But just really having to assess all that you have. What are you willing to part with? What matters the most? It changes you. I'll talk more about that at some point, but I say that to say, for the folks who had to just run out of their homes and they came back, we talk about things are just material, right? We talk about that, but the people who couldn't even get their sentimentals because they had to hurry up and go because of the unpredictability of the winds and just all these things, my heart goes out to them in ways that it's just overwhelming. And it's overwhelming. The last thing I'll say is, in these times you feel so helpless. And so what I plan to do, because because FEMA has approved funds for folks starting next week, or whenever the air quality gets a little bit better. I'm going to reach out to the churches that I'm a part of, because I'm part of a bunch of churches, and let any of the seniors know that if they need any help with filling out those funds, I want to do that. And then I also will, my sister gave me a great suggestion. I'm also going to reach out to probably the larger LA library system and see if I can coordinate a way to like volunteer and fill out the forms at the library. Because with seniors who are not tech savvy, even though there's a number to call, everyone is in crisis, everyone is in distress. And while I could, donate clothes and things like that, which I probably will do that, or like get water and other supplies, I think part of the best way to use my gift, to use this PhD, is to do something that I've always done. I've been an intermediary for a lot of people that I love, where I filled out forms or had to speak for people, write letters, all those things. And so I want to be able to do that for my community, because what I've seen in California, which is beautiful, and not saying that I've never seen it in Virginia, but the way that people have shown up for their community, I have seen the best of what humanity has had to offer. And so that is where we are on the 10th. I may film some content later. We're going to go get some food, maybe go to a museum or something later on. I don't know if I fully feel like that. I still have a headache, but I'll try to film some content just because I really want to document my life. But that's all I have for this daily vlog experiment. As always, thank you so much for being on this journey where Boosie evolves.